On stage in this dynamic conversation is Rudrani Chattoraj, anchor at Zoom TV, who will lead what promises to be a very engaging dialogue. Ladies and gentlemen, let's please have on stage, before we dive into this conversation, a little more anticipation. We want to treat you to a quick audiovisual, and with that, let's have a look. Let's play the AV, ladies and gentlemen, before Sussanne Khan joins us on stage. All right, and with that build-up and with that anticipation, now let's have Sussanne Khan and Rudrani on stage. Thank you, ladies. We've been eagerly awaiting this session with bated breath. And Rudrani, with that, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much. Hello, everybody. We are very, very excited to do this and have Sussanne here. Thank you so much for being a part of our Conclave. And I think all of you saw the visuals of that fantastic, beautiful Hyderabad, the charcoal project store. And I think it has truly defined the way we look at the Indian design identity, which is also one of the topics that we're going to talk about today, which is, so we'll go right there.
Firstly, I just want to thank you. I want to thank all of you today for making time to even be here and, to be here to witness this conversation. This is my first time speaking on economic times. I'm a little nervous, but I'm very happy that this is my topic, and I'm so excited to speak with Rudrani about the love of my life, the charcoal project.
Of course. ET Conclave is very, very proud to have you, and we want to celebrate you, of course. Sussanne, starting right there.
Sure.
I know you know so much about the Indian design identity. So let's talk about that a little. How do you think creativity helps in creating that unique Indian design identity? How do you look at that today?
I think that I am extremely fortunate to have a place and state in, at this point in 2025, where I have been in the business more than 20 years, and I have seen how India and how our amazing sense of history of architecture and art has influenced interior design in the most beautiful way. But I think that as a designer, we are riding a golden wave at this particular time in the last 4 or 5 years, where we have seen our craftsmanship and our talent of the way that we do our metalwork, our marble work, our, everything has just come alive to another level and has gone onto a world platform of recognition. And I'm proud to say that every product that we have made for the Charcoal Project Hyderabad is made in our own India. And the craftsmen who we have made it from are people who have been a legacy from my mother's 30 years of interior design families. They're the sons of the fathers who did the work for my mother, and that kind of legacies have carried on. And now those people have introduced technology. The same, Indian mind has grown because of technology and because of the awareness of what's going on in the world. So I think that we're in a very exciting time in the world of interior design in India right now.
Absolutely. And really, thank you for truly making the Indian design identity go ahead and keep it alive.
Thank you. It's just a beginning. I have a lot of plans, and we are taking baby steps to take what we do here to all parts of the world and, celebrate our craftsmanship everywhere.
You already mentioned technology.
Yeah.
So, we know sustainability is obviously a key focus, and then using AI. How do you look at this ever-evolving, changing landscape, and how does it kind of play this important role in, the modern Indian design per se?
So I think that as a designer who is basically very old school in using tools of just drawing by hand and not even AutoCAD in what I do, I'm a very perspective renderings all by hand. And I think that AI helps you today understand better as a tool, but it cannot take the place of unique design, because I think that there is a body of work that is in human minds that has been over years, and how a human mind can converge those ideas into a new energy. AI is only feeding from the history of what has been done, but what is new, it's in innovation is the way to kind of break through. Having AI as a tool, but actually understanding how to bring through history of art and architecture and culture and heritage, and how do you bring it about in your design. So that's the human mind. So I think AI and the human mind go hand in glove, and as designers, as Indians, we should never sideline human minds over AI.
Absolutely. We are talking about the Indian craftsmanship. So we've seen that the charcoal project has redefined luxury interiors, and that is beautiful. How do you think is the right blend of aesthetics with Indian craftsmanship to create that? Because you've done it.
So again, I think that for our we have these various levels in charcoal project, and we've created product that we have kind of understood we've taken 5 different states, and in those states we've taken the region of what the flora and the fauna of that state is, what the geographical style of that state is, and we've brought it into our levels. So one of our levels is called terrain chic. So it's all about textures, it's all about shadow play, it's all about stone and carvings, and even a fiber that looks like stone, and also done by artists, Indian artists. So I think that we have kind of picked up on geography, we've picked up on history of art and design, and of course all the various motifs that we have kind of brought about from our Mughal period and our, the Rajput industrial zone of just having the most rich colors and everything. But how do we make that into new India, into a new version that maybe the Gen Zs, the younger lot would like? Sure. And what would they aspire to have in their home and not run away to Milan to buy, Sure. So I think keeping that in mind, we've used new techniques like, electroplating to fiber that, makes my branch furniture series outdoor friendly, but it looks like as if it's like silver, but it's actually outdoor furniture. So I think that using techniques from today's world, but bringing in various kind of geographic zones of our rich kind of, heritage of how we have these landscapes all around India. I think that culmination comes about beautifully at Charcoal Project.
Absolutely. And of course, you have 5 levels. So you've gone ahead and made sure that every level has something to offer. And one of the levels, actually, you've collaborated with Gauri Khan Designs, so with Gauri Khan herself. And
yes. Gauri herself is extremely, extremely creative and very Indian herself, and has a lot, everything she does is made and done here. So it was a great collaboration, and what she's brought about in our level at the Charcoal Project is very unique and beautiful. And it's wonderful to collaborate on, on a store that big, because you have different offerings for the builder community, for the developer community. And I think that is what's exciting, because now the projects are getting into bigger projects and not just residential, Yeah.
That massive launch that you had of the charcoal project in Hyderabad, we must talk about that. All your friends and family turned up, obviously, and they just couldn't stop thinking about how much of hard work you've put into it. I remember Ritik's post on how he knows the kind of hard work and the dedication and the blood, sweat, and tears that you've put in creating this sort of a space, which was so unique. And it takes a lot of time, right, Sussanne? And I felt the post was so personal because he looked like he was so proud of what you've achieved. I think the basis of your relationship is also friendship, and it shows.
I think that absolutely, our children are very artistic. Both my boys are, artistically inclined to another level. So I think, of course, the support of my family and, of course, Ritik as my co-parent is a very big thing to us. And not only that, I also think that all the people of Hyderabad that we did invite and we hosted, they were really very, happy to see this beautiful new kind of energy in the city. And so, yes, I'm feeling very grateful and very blessed. Yeah.
You mentioned people from Hyderabad. One of our superstars, Ram Charan, he visited your store and he couldn't stop talking about it. Yes, tell us about that visit, and of course the kind of support that the industry has shown you, because I think they, like I said, they also have seen what you've created today after 14, 15 years in the business?
15 years. I think that we are, again, extremely thankful and grateful that, Charan walked in one day with a friend, a close friend, and he was so wonderful. He saw the entire property detailed. Then he, Upasna and him invited us to their home. So, and then, there was a painting of Ridan's that he had liked. So it was really nice. So I was very touched that, people who are so diverse are, appreciating things who've traveled the world, who've seen it all, who've been through everything, but they're appreciating what we did. And that was something that was very, very, very heartwarming. Yeah.
You mentioned Redan's painting. I must tell everybody that you are a proud mother, because your son's painting actually are now being showcased at your own store, and it's also a moment for him, right? Like for a mother as well.
So I think that Redan is actually an artist since he was 5 years old. He used to sit on a dining table, and he could draw a room in perspective. And I was shocked. I couldn't understand, what is this boy doing? And he's got inborn flair for art. And in 2020, just out of fun, he was doing this doodle art. And he called then my good friend Jyotika Jalani from Janvi, India, who really put a lot of thought and a lot of love, and she helped into pillow art and canvases, and we created these duffel bags, and they're doing so well. And then what we sold so much of it, so what we got from that, then we gave it to a charitable organization of his choice. So it's been a very a heartwarming kind of time for me, because yes, not only is Hyderabad having Charcoal Project, and we all are at that level right now where we have 30,000 square feet of this unique space, but my son is part of it. And I'm thrilled because people actually are buying his art, not knowing that it's his, and appreciating it. So I'm a very proud mom. He's now 17 years old, and he was only 12 years old when he started actually doing all of that. So yes, the future is yet to see what he would like to do.
The house is full of artists. I'm not surprised that he started that young. I have a feeling that the inspiration comes from you in this side. I'm sure, I mean, both Ritik and you're an artist,
Both,
but this...
yeah, both of us are
of
very
course.
artistically inclined, and my older son is into music. He's a musician, budding musician. He's studying at Berklee College of Music. So I think art and culture and heritage of the way we Indians are as people and what we infuse into our children, no matter what our relationship is with our spouses, that's very important in life, I think. And that is the crux of having, children growing into a space where it's not only about, social media and about things that are not so relevant, but they get into a deep dive of soul searching, And I think that's important in today's world.
No, absolutely. And I want to take this moment to also say that I think Ritik and you are fantastic co-parents because you've created this space where they can be whoever they want to be.
Thank you.
And like I said, the basis of your friendship, that I think also helps you all do that. What have been the questions that you get from your children sometimes when they see you at work? The curiosity that comes out from that side, and have they asked questions about your design, decor, all of that?
So they're actually very they're very involved in what they're doing. They don't really, but they kind of course, I think they've seen me from a very young age working, and I think that inspires them to be at it. And I think that it's very important to teach your kids to use their hands, to work with their hands, like whatever it may be, creating things, building things, Lego or whatever, building things, because that's a constructive kind of energy that you're putting into them. It's not destructive. So I think that is something that we that I really wanted them to have, and so I guess it's turned out good so far. Yeah, touch wood.
It's turned out brilliant. You're being humble there. Sussanne, we'll have to start right at the beginning now. We'll have to tell everybody, where did this acumen for art, where did this design start for you? And were you as creative as a child?
So actually I think that I knew at a really young age that I wanted to be in the world of design, because I was literally 4 or 5 years old, and my mom, it was a fabulous interior designer of those years, of that era. It was the 80s, and she used to do all these beautiful, homes, and I used to go with her for the site visits, and then she used to ask me about color and combinations, and these magazines used to come home of Architectural Digest and Home Beautiful, and I used to always tell her, Mom, I want to do this. So I think at a very young age, I was drawn into the world of decor and design and, beautifying things. How would you beautify an environment, how you'd let light in. So I think that there was a very strong search of going into that zone, and I think that after doing my art, my junior college in arts, I decided I want to go and study interior design, and my mom sent me to Los Angeles, and then the rest is history when I came back, and how I kind of worked with her at a very young age, and so I think that it's a blend of how in those days, and I'm talking about early 2000s, the things, of course, the technology and the computer-aided design that we had up to what we have today was not there. So it was a different realm of creativity. You had to use your hands a lot. You had to create, you had to make these mood boards, you had to do everything. So I think that it taught you so much that it just goes into your soul, And then I think that as time went on, how we use technology, but when we have to actually describe a space or, show what we want, it's so important to kind of actually sketch it out yourself. So I think that, so this is a very deep-rooted journey for me. And I think that I have just begun. I feel like a child. I feel like I need to grow 10 folds more, and I feel I don't know anything. So I think that's another thing that I'm happy to keep learning and, growing.
I was having too much fun listening to these anecdotes of yours. It's wonderful to see the journey, right, and listen to it. So thank you. My time's up, but I want to still put in one last question, and tell me, you've seen some of the most beautiful homes, celebrity homes. You have a beautiful home, and you've actually created some of them. Can you name a few that you have been particularly impressed by, and give a reason why you say that?
Honestly, I'm not going to take names.
Okay. Okay.
But I think that, homes that are, homes are not only about how beautiful they are. I feel homes they're like sponge. The people who live in them and the energy that they put out is what they absorb. So it's very important that when you do up your beautiful home, you have to keep at it and give it that love and give it that warmth on an everyday basis. And then the home thrives and it grows, So I think that design is diverse. Like you could have beach houses or mountain houses or, high-rise apartment on the 50th floor penthouses. So there are very different design philosophies and stories that can be known as beautiful, but the energy that goes into the heart of that home is what one should think about, according to me.
Sure. So the last one here is the future of the charcoal project. What is your vision? Where do you want to take it? What's next for Sussanne Khan?
I think that I want to bring a lot of extremely very handcrafted product from many states of India back to modernizing the way I see it and kind of taking each state to a level that I think that could go into a global zone. So I think that I have a plan. This is just a little part of that plan, but I'm striving towards that plan slowly.
We're cheering for you. We want to see where this goes because we're sure you're going to do excellent at that. Thank you once again for joining our conclave.
Thank you so much.
And round of applause for this wonderful
Thank
moment.
you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Sussanne Khan, once again, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you so much for sharing such a rich range of anecdotes from your personal and professional journey alike. Thank you once again, Sussanne, and thank you, Rudrani. Thank you so much.